Hello, and welcome to this course on extreme programming. In this module, we will discuss iteration in XP. Since XP is a heuristic approach, there is no feedback or code as reference for the first iteration. So let's talk about what actually happens in the first iteration. The first iteration of an XP project will have no feedback or code as reference. This kind of project starts on a small scale and shows steady progress. The first iteration should be small, and its aim should be to create a basic foundation for the next iteration. The first iteration should serve as a platform to gather genuine data, to find the actual capability of the team and how much it can do, to determine team velocity as well as individual velocity, and to gauge how a customer reacts to real working software. Having discussed the first iteration, we will now see how iteration is scheduled. Iterations help a customer create the schedule. Developers use tasks to adhere to the schedule. The schedule should take into account team velocity as well as individual developer velocity. In order to manage time and schedule efficiently, it is best to deal with the highest risk tasks at the beginning of the iteration. When there is ample time and resources to work on the hardest tasks, it is less stressful to tackle them. Developers should work on one task at a time and not work on several tasks simultaneously just because they are easy. In order to increase productivity, developers should find a partner to work on each task. Each task can have a different set of developer pairs, or pairs can be swamped when a task is in progress. This way, there's a natural flow of knowledge and ideas among the developers, and teamwork is an obvious outcome of such a process. It is extremely important for the team to meet and discuss progress on a daily basis. In XP terminology, this is called a daily stand-up meeting. 3 questions are asked during the meeting. What have you done since yesterday? What are you going to do today? And are there any impediments in your way? Because the meeting is short, there's no seating arrangement during the meeting. A person who acts as the tracker for the team writes down work in progress. Finally, we will discuss the 80-20 rule. Originally called the Pareto principle, this rule states that for several different events, approximately 80% of the effects results from 20% of the causes. This is a common business rule of thumb that states that 80% of a company's sales results from the business given by 20% of its total client base. Most software programmers are aware and used to this rule. 80% of the useful results comes from 20% of the work they put into it. XP applies this rule in its approach. According to XP practice, put the most essential and valuable 20% of functionality into production. Work on the most important 20% of the design, and rely on the 80-20 rule to defer optimization. This brings us to the end of this module. Thank you for learning with us.